Here. Okay. Chris Eastman on the board. Okay. Alex Rodriguez, Anthony Hofer here, Scott LaSalle
Here.
Werner Schwartz not here, May Beaver not here. 5. Establish quorum. Yeah. Official city. I think we're good there, yeah?
Finding the new role of new knowledge of Chris not being on the board, which was, I think it's now that you are a city employee, correct? Part of the health advisory.
Do as a board, do we get to advise on that or that decision made? Have input regarding that decision being made?
Might be an error. I don't think so, but as a city employee, have an attorney.
Yeah, I feel like his insights and experience in the golf industry be beneficial to the board.
Can be here and is current staff.
Awesome.
He's here to answer questions. Appropriate role. Liaison to you. Answer questions.
So he can, just to clarify for everybody, so he can serve as in an advisory role, but as long as he has no voting ability, then we're.
I understand that he would take any vote on any.
All that makes sense to me, as long as we still have you in a capacity.
Help you out whenever
Awesome.
I can.
Any other introductions? Guests, elected officials, city staff? Yeah. Approve minutes from 4/23/2026. Yeah. How does that work? Okay, then financial report, is that where you provide us, Decker?
Isn't it? Kitty. Could drop off. I went in and asked for this. You'll need to be forward kind of information. Two sheets in front of you. One of them is the revenue with comparison to budget, 7 months of the current fiscal year. The other is expenditures compared to the budget, 7 months fiscal year. Let me start with
I have the same page.
the same page. Which one are you missing?
Either I have page 5.
The expenditures or the revenues?
Mine says revenues.
Okay, here's expenditure. Here.
I got you.
Thank you.
Oh, revenues. Bottom third of that page. See listed the way it reads, there's the period actual, which is and they should be almost the same, the period that this report was generated. Then the year-to-date actual, the budget, what is unearned is the difference between the budget and the actual, and that percentage is the percentage that the actual represents. So for Pro Shop sales, it's 0 across the board. We didn't budget for any Pro Shop sales this year. there's a budget in there for $500. I'm not sure where that came from. I don't recall the city council setting that, but I wasn't on council then, so. And of course, revenue-wise from that because there's been no sales. The cart storage. Was budgeted to bring in $245,000.
Green fees.
No, this is cart storage. I'm sorry, 21,000.
21,000.
Yeah, 21. Huh, I didn't even know they said bifocals. Cart storage, $21,610. They've actually had 21,117.31 to date. That means that they're about $493 against what was budgeted, against the projected budget, which puts them at 97.5% of hitting that target for the budget. Green fees was projected to bring in 245,000. So far, they've collected 91,362. About 37% of the projected revenues coming from green fees have been realized through the first 7 months of this year.
That's actually higher. What I just did a little report for January 1 comparison of 25 to January 1 of till April 30th. So in January 1 of 25 did a total of 73,056. This year, from January 1 till April 30th, you've done 103,633.
But that combines 2 budget years. I'm looking at the city's fiscal year budget. You've gone back
October
from
to
October 1st to September 30th.
Yeah, I just did January 1.
So as far as green fees go, I'm not going to tell you what I think about that, other than I'll simply say a lot of the months we're talking about from October till April are not known as the world's fastest moving golf months.
Right.
So I take the 37% with a bit of a grain of salt. What we're looking at around here anyway. And then you can go through each one, whether you're looking at punch cards or season passes, user fees, the trail fees. The trail fees, I was very pleased to see mirror very closely the cart storage. Looks like everybody that's got a rental space is paying their fees, trail fees. The monthly passes are a little below what we would expect. But again, you're talking about stuff done during the winter, essentially, through this part of the year.
That's not concerning to you. Typically, if somebody, oh, I'm sorry, never mind. That's monthly pass.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you go down to 24-372-2500 on that far left column, you'll see the transfer for the pump project. That was the $297 that were brought in and have been paid out for the pump project. They have listed here a $500,000 grant. To my knowledge, no grants ever been written or received. So you'll see 0% there, so that's not going to be realized. So when you look down at the very bottom of the sheet, through the first 7 months, when the city council set the budget last year, they set a budget of $1.9 million, 1.930587. Out of that, we already know $500,000 of that, and that grant's not going to come in. Takes you down to 1.43. So in total, through this 7 months, courses brought in $614,159.40. Trying to get to the budget of 1.930. That leaves you 31%, means you hit 31%, almost 32% of your anticipated revenues. It looks dire, but I will tell you it's not as dire as it looks, because we're about to get into the season where money starts changing hands here.
So this weekend, kind of my first real weekend here. Saturday we did 4,100. Sunday we did 4,500.
In green fees?
Green fees and carts. So just those 2 days, 8,600 was taken in.
The other page, the expenditures compared to the budget, goes through all the different operating expenses and the salaries. Golf course. And the percentage numbers in that far right column is the percentage of the expenses compared to the budget.
So what is the fringe city portion?
That's where things like insurance, vacation, sick leave is paid from.
Okay.
There's meetings, schools, and dues.
That's like for me to go to classes, for the pro to go to classes, mechanic to go to classes, stuff like that.
I don't have to go to classes. I've got to pay my PGA dues, which
That comes
I
out
just
of there.
I just got May 1st. I get the billing and I have to pay it. I switched my status. I'm a lifetime PGA member, but now I'm an active lifetime PGA member. So I just switched that today. So I'll have dues that are due, which I can't get it. Just switched it today. So because I was a lifetime member, it was only 200, so it saved me $600. But Golf Galaxy paid for it when I was working. I'm gonna say it's $700 to $750, just off the top of my head.
Is my stuff like that. But I don't know if it shows it was overdrawn on there. It's not. So a due got paid twice. They just reimbursed us.
Alex.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it shows you over by 266.
Yeah, it's not. They're sending it back.
Double
They call-
post.
I think it's twice, so they're sending it back. Like typically, like we pay TJ stuff out of his PJ dues out of.
Rest of the year.
How many did we book the last over? How many rounds did we have?
105 on Saturday, 132 on Sunday. But we have some issues with that's why I put on their tee time reservation system and with their credit card machine. And, we're not on that item yet, but when we get to item 3, I can explain the system. Jump there.
Okay, this is great. Like, and the reason behind our ask of this is like we can use this information. Like I'm already just writing notes down and just kind of mathing it out. We can use this information to set goals. We will go and how we measure those as we go. Recommend to achieving those goals. Like for just some quick math right now. So we need to go. We need to push $263,000 in revenue a month. To meet the budget. And then for the rest of the fiscal year, and then mathed out rounds need to equal 1,040 a month the rest of the fiscal year. 1,000 rounds a month.
Yeah, April, I just did the month of April to see what we did in revenue. It was 48,523. So if we do that times 5, we're gonna be close.
Yeah.
But there's ways to get more golfers out here.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what that's
Oh,
what we're,
yeah,
yeah, we're
like-
gonna work together to get there. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I think is that. Was there anything else you'd like to
It's
Ed,
12,000.
speak to or educate us
I
on,
would say,
Dexter?
if you have any other questions specifically around the budgets, you can email Paula
Okay.
Stefanski. I would highly recommend that the questions come from the chair, the president.
Yeah.
So if you guys, send them to him and then let him contact Paula.
What was the total?
And how would you prefer our recommends or
Previous
or
year, April.
email to written statement to?
Here in the council, need to do it through a formal vote. Then that motion will contain what you want to send forward.
Okay.
So if you want to recommend that Sundays be a free golf day, that's the way your motion is going to read, as the board is recommending the city council and the mayor provide free golf on Sundays. All in favor? A nay. That goes forward.
Then out of our board meeting, how is that presented to the mayor and council? We vote on it.
Be in your minutes.
Okay. Then then city council just take.
If you, city council will get a packet before the meetings, and if you have questions, we will send those out. We can have a discussion on those. That takes care of my input for the financial report.
And any more emails?
Just a question. Well,
Yeah. It dries up usually every year. I try to working.
I've never been in there, so.
And it's just a well, and it's actually the packing on it. That's why there'll be water out there.
Right.
When I'm, we all run it in the. I think it's dried up on me. That I use. Eventually it just.
Can you remind me somebody to get maybe what we're Paula Stefanski's role?
She's treasurer.
Treasurer's budget. Okay. So, well, I guess trying to get my ducks in a row. So, ahead of our next meeting, if we want to see where we're at financially, email Tiffany.
Yes, you have questions about the budget, I'd say send them to Paula.
Okay.
So if you're wanting to get a report month of May, those numbers are available. But send the request to Paula.
And next move. Any other questions or comments on the financials? Move to city input issues. Item 5. That'd be you, Decker, yeah?
Not for me, nothing here.
We move to item 6.
Does Jake?
Oh yeah, Jake, do you have any?
No, I'm good. I was just here to ask a question.
Real quick too, Jake did print out a copy of the green schedule, so we all have that as well.
That's not day to day, right? If
Mhm.
you want day to day, I'll give you day to day, but
I think this would be good for us to work around tournaments and stuff like that. But I just want to make sure that everybody was on the same page as it getting to where we know at least the main
some of
dates.
Just want to have
some of
fun.
that stuff, you can't just write that down and be like, okay, it's 26, I'm gonna spray greens because it might be windy or maybe
Right.
I had to spray, you know what I mean, and like stuff like that. So that's kind of just a good schedule. Jeff has all those dates in the calendar on.
Okay.
Right, Jeff, you have all that blocked up?
I guess you're a city employee. Do you have any input issues, Chris?
Well, item six, the new tea time reservation system.
Okay.
I'd like to thank Jeff for helping that look together, but I also did 3 different Zoom calls with places I'm familiar with. Golf Now is one of
Are we on 3?
Well, we're still on item 5, I guess.
Well,
But we
just
could-
seeing if there's any other items need
Oh.
to be brought forward.
as far as maintenance goes.
No, as far as just city input and issues. So Decker's part of the city, Jake's part of the city, you're part of the city now. So we're just
If you have something that's not listed later on the agenda,
Yeah.
this would be the place to bring it up.
Okay, no.
Okay.
Everything on the agenda is
perfect.
perfect.
You guys, I have to apologize. I thought it was at 6 and someone told me 6.
It shows right here, 6:30, held on May 4th, 6:30, the agenda of the golf advisory.
I must have changed it.
Yeah, that's probably just from.
Either way.
Oh, we would have been, 'cause,
We established it last meeting at 6, and I think that was just a copy paste over from the original agenda from the 6.
Well, we
Yeah,
apologize. We went off.
I've never been,
that's all right.
like, oh, you're down to 5.
Hey, usually the women are always first.
Yeah, not us.
You might want to make.
No.
Can we update our roll to show that Brenda Schwartz and May Weaver are here? Schwartz, sorry. Okay, can we move to item 6? Discussion action item, city employee golf pro position.
That's you.
You guys are recommending.
There is no pro right now,
Not gonna
right?
recommend him.
You're recommending to the city council that I'm a golf professional. Intense knowledge of that history. You're recommending me as a city employee that I guess get the title as a golf pro.
And what does that entail now that the city has, I mean, what will your duties be? Lessons, what basically will you?
So I'm working directly with the ladies tomorrow. I'll be working with the men Wednesday. Thursday, I'm gonna try to put together that as a junior program day with Parks and Rec, which I'm working on that. Available to do lessons, which I've set some rates for those. Cheaper to get. And the tee sheet on Saturdays and it's a different way than you guys have ever seen it run. I greet everybody and meet everybody in the park. I have a starter sheet that we document their cart number, so I control the pace of play. I tell every group, I take them to the number 1 tee, and I had a pace of play of 1 hour and 30 minutes for 9 holes Sunday. Everybody's expected to be on hole 6 in an hour. If they're not there, then I know where my problem is for the rest of the day. Now, the way we got the pro shop set up, I can see holes 1 and 6 and 9. Everybody asks them if they've played the golf course before. So I give them direction that, well, we need to keep the carts out of the roughs. We need to I'd like to get you the first 9 holes under 2 hours. You have to go past the cart sheds to hole number 10, and I have my little red cart that I'm going around marshaling. But I know what the pace of play is by the time people get to 6th green. Because I have their cart number, I have what time they teed off, and you know, I'm out there make my face known.
Go ahead, Jake.
I was just gonna
Also, I value all input. Like
We
we
want your
gotta,
input
I want all input and
Well,
perspectives.
Yeah.
I think I'm on the same page as all of you guys, right? We want the pro to run the tournaments, we want the pro to give lessons, pro to, you know, all those kinds of things that a pro would do. Is what we want.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where you were going with
Yeah,
the question.
that's exactly, because now the
Like the
city's
day-to-day
taking it
stuff.
over,
Yeah.
and I understand things are a little different from the last one we had.
I would
Same.
I would think, I don't know, I would think like as a city pro, you would be all the stuff he just said, right? Giving lessons,
Running the pro
running
shop,
the pro
running
shop,
the
running the
tournaments.
tournaments.
So this is Saturday, our first event. Okay. And Jeff and I are working together with this. We have 84 players. We're creating signage and staging.
Well, what's it for?
I'm on that
Because I haven't seen anything for a tournament.
It's the Daniel Dobbs rodeo tournament.
Yeah, it's a Dobbs tournament. That's where
No, I didn't hit that.
I've got a list of the players right here. So
Okay.
we're going to be signing cards to each individual. They'll have a sign. Once I get my official signs, but card signs that will be taped on the windshield for everybody renting a cart. And then we're going to be max. This is something you don't close the golf course for an event. So they'll be teeing off so I can get number 1 tee reopened for general public play at ASP. So
The reverse shotgun.
yeah, it's basically a reverse gun. And then so the next tournament, I met with her today, and we've got St. Luke's tomorrow. Yeah. So we're prepping for these days, but we're not having course closure like in the past. Okay. Of course, on the Simplot, yes, you got to. Right. But so
Well, I know, the
Leukemia,
leukemia
you
one
have to.
takes.
yeah, and I've got a listing, all that. I got all this. So I've got the numbers, but now it's a matter of getting the numbers and prepping before, a week before, basically, is what it's gonna be done, so, you know, things go as smooth as possible, and I'll be out there greeting, meeting people, and making sure, we put all the sponsor signs together today, move them, so they're gonna meet with me Friday night, and everything's ready to go Saturday.
So I guess my question is like, what are we discussing or taking action on? Whether we want you to be the pro or not, or what your duties are?
Well, if you,
I
like,
think he's already been hired, hasn't he?
Yes, I was gonna say he's hired. He's in there, right?
Seasonal.
Well, it's seasonal right now.
Eastman's correct. I think the golf pro was a contractor. Now, this thing above the seasonal conditions whereof currently they have to create such bear in mind, say this, golf pro that was contracted on in that city be running. Stop that because that's your next action item discussion. But as today, as I know it,
And our discussion will revolve around whether we would like him to move to a permanent pro position.
whether or not you want to date city employee.
That needs to be the discussion, is that we recommend putting Chris into a pro
Well,
position.
I don't think it. I mean, I'm looking at it more broadly than that. Like, not necessarily Chris saying no. Just more so, should the golf pro position be a city position or should it be a contracted?
Yes.
Okay.
The city has been using a hybrid
That's what I was
approach to
getting
this for as long as I've been around Mountain Home. And we did.
Just to kind of echo Decker, I think last we really talked about this position. Yeah, I think it was all four was trying to get your guys' thoughts on the direction you want
So
with the pro contract or city.
I would open up that discussion with a question: is what is advantageous of having it as contracted, and why would it be advantageous to have it as a city employee?
Well, the problem with city employee, they have hours, 9 to 5. So if you're doing a night tournament, is that city
No,
employee?
no,
gonna be there?
Jake set a schedule for me today.
No. So if the city employee is a pro, he's salaried position. Just I don't have a
Okay.
9 to 5, right?
Right.
Work.
If that's,
I can work 60 hours a week. If that's what was required, and
Okay.
which is
To do the job.
We do, right? Like on the weekends, we're working. Typically in the summertime, we're doing 48 hours a week, maybe more. Try to rotate it, but that's how that would come across. The pro, say the pro or is a salaried employee, so he's working whatever he has to work to make it happen. That's how it's been at every golf course I've worked at. I'm guessing you'd probably say the same thing, right?
Yeah, this is the season. I'm used to working every day, May Day to October.
no, I was just saying because we have one pro city that he would close down at 5 and say, just drop the keys.
I'll say this, like you guys do what you want to do, right? But I can tell you, with all those golf courses I've called, I know Decker and the mayor have gone to Lakeside. The golf courses, city golf
Lakeview.
courses, Lakeview. Yeah, sorry, I worked at a Lakeside.
Yeah.
That's why I said.
Yeah.
But they're going to a city employee because that's how the city can. They have more options to be able to generate revenue doing that. When you like, you can go out there and look and do your research, find out that city pros aren't contracted.
When you say more options,
They use.
are we not just seeing the fact that the city council?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's another.
Isn't that an option that's actually?
Yeah, and I think that's something that we have to discuss, right? And we maybe as a board, you can, and which we, like Decker said, we have no money in this budget to go buy stuff, unless it magically appears, which.
Have no money to buy it. Then pro on the city
Contracted.
contractor. I'll not have a pro shop.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we could,
I could fill that shop in
we could,
a week.
we could say, since we don't have the budget this year, we can vote in for next year and say, let's get this pro shop.
I mean, I know
That's a lot of-
Tiffany and I sat down and we presented it, and could also another option. Probably why I shouldn't come to these meetings. Probably talk too much. But there's another, like, we worked it out to where, like, if you instead of hiring a golf pro, you hire the clubhouse manager, because we already have that position available, right? So we're not adding another position, raising the pay or anything like that. It's already in the budget. Then you see how that plays out this year. Maybe you figure out where you're getting tournament this year. You have to go again. How it works. Have the city.
I have the capability of stocking that shop. That's
So that would be.
But yeah, like it. I know you.
to get through this year. If that's what needs to be done, I have a partner.
As a seasonal or city employee,
Well, that's what-
are you able to? Can you?
That's what needs to be Maybe you get through this year as a contract at the city.
And I'll ask Jake, was there any other course that consulted besides Lakeview? Because Lakeview's the only Meridian owned one, right? So Warm Springs and Quail Hollow are both city courses. Ridgecrest and Centennial are both city courses, and Purple Sage are city courses.
All city of Idaho Falls, all of Blackfoot.
Yeah, I called Blackfoot. I had conference calls. Take it. I was going to talk about how they used to be contract and they decided no because of the same thing with Purple Sage. Like I had Purple Sage, and we did this. I did this at conference calls when they were working out the hybrid system last time. No one, like I set up a whole meeting, and so the lady that was in charge, I believe it was Caldwell, where it started first in the valley, and they turned it around. The council said around in 3 or something like that. Maybe they said 5, and they had it turned around in 3. And that lady ended up going with Meridian or Boise. She helped transition all those cities into it. I had a conference call set up with the last council trying to figure out that hybrid. One council member showed up to the conference call. At that point, I was like, but that's the trend. That's the trend right now, and I think Decker touched on it a couple council meetings ago. The trend because pros want the insurance, the retirement that comes with it. Job security is a little bit better, right, than it is at a country club and stuff like that. And what do you want, Chris?
Yeah, as a current professional, what would you say would be a better setup?
Oh, I like the idea of being a city employee.
Do you think that, and I'm thinking like, if I think in a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, does a city position help or harm this city's ability to recruit another high quality professional after your time is done?
So I was there when they did this in Idaho Falls. It was a 3-year buyout where they bought out the cards, and then they got leased new cards after 3 years. They bought out the pros over a 3-year process. All the pros in Idaho Falls love it. I have no problem. I'd prefer to be a city professional.
And in your estimation, do you feel like the next professional after you would be encouraged or discouraged to accept a position here, based if it was a city?
They would be
Encouraged.
encouraged.
Then my next question would be, which route benefits the community and the golfer and enhances the citizen experience at the golf course? Because I think that's probably the most important voice in the room for this decision. And it's like, is it best for city council? Is it best for the city? Is it best for the pro? Well, we need 5,000 more rounds this
And
year.
I'm willing to do whatever to get through this fiscal year. I have the capability of stocking that shop. I've got a partner, another golf professional that will help me stock that shop if we need to do that to get through the year. And if the city just determines they want to own the shop, I can prove to you, I'll be glad to, prove to you that pro shop can make money.
Yeah. No, 100% agree.
Oh, I'm on board with that. I know it can.
It's a no-brainer.
Right, but I agree 100% with you, but it's not us that have to agree with you.
I guess my thing is seeing.
You have to have a golf professional to get a Titleist account.
Yeah, I think one way or another there needs to be a golf professional. My opinion, there needs to be a golf professional at the course. Now, what capacity, I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know. What I'd prefer the route that best serves the community and the golfer, and that would be the first priority. And then second priority was what's most beneficial from a city perspective. Then third priority would be the answer to the question, what makes the position most attractive.
So it sounds like go ahead.
So if it's city, if the answer to that is city employees, the pro, that enhances the golfer customer experience, then sure, yes, I'd recommend that. If the second one is city pro, it makes it more attractive. All those are a city thing. I support that.
I've been here when the city ran team with team. I saw it go down. Not saying it would now. Past is the past, but the only thing we have to draw on experience is the past too. I saw what happened under that. I saw what happened to Jay, who had some skin in the game, right? And it really started to take off with him. So that is my concern. And this is absolutely no slam on you at all. I'm sure you're a fine, upstanding man, and you will do whatever you can to get this. I have no reservations about that whatsoever. My concern is moving forward. Will the next guy we put in, he have that same fire in his belly as you? Doesn't. What does that mean for?
I think that should come back. That should come back to this committee to have a somewhat of a say in it, and that would be up to us or whoever's in our positions, moving forward.
Because
Yeah.
right now, we can say, okay, Chris, you're gonna be a city employee. And 10 years down the road, he says, I'm done, I'm retiring. Now we can throw,
Now we know how it works, but current state starting for this year to get this resolved, it sounds like it almost needs to be a hybrid and let Chris bring in everything for the pro shop alone, and then have everything else be on that city side of things as far as the lessons, the carts, whatever it needs to be, whatever he's doing outside of that. But let Chris run with the pro shop for the first year and say, okay, now come 2027, Chris, we saw what you did. You did great. It's awesome. Let's bring this in
As a city employee.
as a full city employee.
Folks, I will tell you, I really am concerned on a couple of levels, so I'll just go ahead and say it. As an advisory board, not a hiring authority,
No, we can make the recommendation though.
you can make a recommendation. Recommendation may or may not be followed.
Understood. You've seen that.
Yep. We've all seen it at one time or another, different committees and such. I will tell you that if you make a recommendation that is uber specific, it's more likely to be debated. My initial concern right now, and now I'm starting to talk too much, Jake. Trying to be quiet. I don't know what mechanics has. I know right now there's no contract to do sales in that pro shop. I don't know where the funding for such would come from, and I don't think accounts can be established without having it cleared first to set up those accounts. That'd be a violation of the city's purchasing policy. So if you keep your recommendations to the goals you're trying to receive, you're trying to get to, and the mechanism, the broad mechanism for getting there, whether it's hybrid or city employee or pick somebody outside the street that needs a job, careful not to get too specific into the weeds of what you're looking to do. Keep your mind focused on what that's going to look like rather than who's going to get it done. And then let the folks that have to deal with the legal side of it figure that out.
For me, I'm not as confident in making a recommendation until I would know what the reporting structure would be. To kind of maybe piggyback what you were talking about, Scott, like as a full city pro, that is 100%. That means you are 100% beholden to the city council. I don't know if there's a lot of.
That's an administrative piece. Personnel fall under the mayor. Yeah. Where the city council comes in is budgeting. You've seen this in state government often enough. I won't tell you what may or may not happen here, but it's not unusual to have a bunch of manning positions on the book and the budget guys fund them. So there is that balance, that check and balance between what comes up on the administration side, because I can't tell either of these gentlemen what. I can't tell Paul and those folks what to do. I can only ask the mayor, give me permission to contact them directly. That's a personnel. That's part of the world. My liaison with you is I'm looking at what are the policy issues. So we set policy on city council. The budgetary issues. So we set the budgets every year. Yeah. That's the kind of guidance I need most for this committee just starting out. What is your vision? What do you want the policy of the city to be? What would you recommend to the city its policy be about how we handle this golf course? What's your recommendation about what you believe your constituents support when it comes to fees, when it comes to whether or not the city makes it a completely city-operated organization. And then the council and the mayor take up the business of trying to figure out what makes the most sense. Not only everybody in our community, golfing community.
I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but roughly, Chris, I don't know if you have a number. What's a ballpark number to fill up the pro shop?
But typically, you're trying to rotate that. So TJ,
That inventory,
yeah,
right?
3 times.
Okay, but startup. What do you just? And I could be I'm just shot in the dark, but
50,000.
Well, the city is not,
Doing that.
tell me if I'm wrong, the
I
city's not,
cannot speak for the council. No individual member can speak for the entire council.
okay.
I will
From what
simply, I will
My
say,
understanding is the city is not really interested in moving forward. I see no reason why. On your
there's no
I think that's a slightly off. I heard council members, city not being in money this year. About whether that could be revenues that have to be contracted to. So, like I said, it's getting the minutiae, trying to start up is still. Bunch of rounds goal is. Then we start down to how to get say yes.
And you say that you're have all my hope. It's also on the performance kind of lessons, like we have children lessons that are on a holiday and up we say for the council.
Yeah, so I would say I would make a move to have Chris Eastman be the city employee golf pro for year 26. And the reason why is that what we're discussing, right?
Say that again.
To have Chris be the city golf pro, city employee golf pro, the year 2026.
I think he already is.
He's a seasonal employee.
Seasonal employee.
Okay, he's not. So he's
Title.
Again, there is no golf pro position currently on the administration.
So
We need to create that.
The recommendation would be for the city to create such position.
yes, and yep, and have Chris fill it for the remainder of this golf season. The fiscal end of fiscal.
Recommendations on who can do it, put it in there now. But when you're talking a salary level position with the kind of salary you'd have to have the range for, that's going to have to be.
Yeah, I'm open to that. I would recommend that too. I wouldn't recommend.
The gentleman's name in your recommendation would be seen by some as problematic when you haven't even up for applicants yet.
So
You haven't even created a position yet.
what we need to do is create the system. Our recommendation is create the position of golf pro to the employee for the beginning of this year, seasonal, and then next year full-time.
Well, I have reservations on that. I would like to come back up to discussion at the end of fiscal year whether it should be a contracted hybrid or a city position, because I don't know how the reporting structure looks. I'm wary of a city employee reporting directly to the mayor without any kind of autonomy. based on the way the last couple of years have gone. So those are my reservations. That's why I would like it to be. That's why I would like the caveat of being for the remainder of the golf season, and we can evaluate how this golf season went under that. That's any clarity or questions regarding that.
Once again, that isn't up to us to decide that.
I know,
I'm
but I
saying
can't.
for future.
Yeah,
can
we
the
wouldn't make the
recommendation, but
decide it.
future-
Yeah,
Future side of things that they could say, yep, nope.
yeah, they
Chris,
can. Yeah,
stay.
they can decide how they want, but
Make
I
your
mean,
decision, but
I wouldn't be comfortable recommending full-heartedly that should be
Right now.
that should be a permanent.
Moving forward.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Forever.
right now.
I wouldn't feel comfortable recommending that being the way forward for in perpetuity. Just, I mean, the evidence has been there. Nothing against you, Chris. Just, I mean, I fully expect it to go awesome, so and be no issues. That's my full expectation, and be 100% confidence in the recommendation going forward.
yeah, there's no
Yeah.
doubt. There's no doubt that you're gonna outperform.
And just like today, at this moment in time, I can't confidently recommend what it should be.
I also don't want to set you up for failure, Chris. Something has changed because we've seen it.
I would say is that I give that
Yeah.
this year, maybe not. I guess this ever came to it. Like,
Yeah.
At the end of the year, we
But the signs will be there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you're
if
gonna up all that stuff.
Yeah, we'd have a good idea of what it would after the year.
Yeah.
And I think nailing it down.
I mean, and I think the course community needs some stability and some leadership of a golf professionals calendar now. So, which is why I would like to have something recommended now, but have a horizon on it for an up for discussion at the end of the fiscal year.
I'm sorry, I thought we were on item 2.
That's all right.
So,
No.
Okay.
and on that pro shop, that's a tough nut then. Because
So, hold on. So, do we need to formally make a formal motion and vote on that? Okay. So I move that the city that we create a city employee golf pro position and open that up for competition.
second half.
In a second, so now you need to record the vote.
Brenda
All in
Swarth,
favor?
all in favor? Brenda, what's your aye, nay?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Aye.
May?
Aye.
Anthony? Aye. Alex?
Aye.
And we need to make sure we're doing that so that it's recorded for the minutes.
Yeah. You'll definitely have to,
By individual vote.
you'll definitely have to like coach us on this parliamentary procedure as we go, Tecker.
You worked through the first one.
Okay, so let's move with that passed. Let's go to discussion item 2. City operates the pro shop and inventory.
But with what he was saying, I don't think we can recommend that, but it's up to the mayor for this season. I think it's up to the mayor and Chris how to figure that. If he, them to take on that.
Well, there's no contract currently, so we need to. At least what I'm gathering is that we need to make a recommendation to open the shop as a contract.
Is that clear? Does that sound correct? If we are to,
Yeah, because we just established we want to create a golf position, right? So obviously that's Chris. He's not going to be able to run that pro shop.
City employee.
I think
So
by
therein lies the sticky point.
Yeah.
Well, however,
I think not.
Chris-
Go ahead.
Chris says you have a partner that could assist that. Could we contract? Could we make thinking long term? Could we opened it up? Could we contract Chris's partner to come in there? Chris is actually not handling it while he's involved, but we could actually have a partner run everything through him. It's a
This year.
complete for this year, and do it for a year to get this filled up.
Yeah.
We
So
can make that that could be the recommendation.
Yeah, so let me see if I clarify for my own will too. Well, one, I think not having a pro shop and not having that is doing a disservice to the community and the golfing community. And so we need to figure out a way to get that going. Now, is that possible, Dexter?
There are always options. I get to use that phrase my very first professor said in my very first public ad. It all depends. The city has funds in its contingency. Require the city council to vote use it. So that's one option. The other observation I'll make, the other one is to recommend that there be a vendor, contractor,
That's what I was thinking.
provide the retail for the pro shop. Tell you that contract, the contractor that just left was also the contractor for golf instruction. Right now, there's nothing in any city employee's job description that includes that provision
Have lessons?
of lessons. That was a contract. TJ held that contract for that, along with the retail on the
Right.
pro shop. So right now, guys will take a look at and hopefully make a recommendation to, you can make a recommendation to city council, they spend money out of the contingent, have that shop in the city take over responsibilities. That, you can recommend that. You can recommend that it be contracted back out. Have folks bid to actually run their own retail shop out of that.
Can I present a question in the form of idea that maybe you can answer, Decker? Try your best. Okay.
Right now, too.
So let me get you off it real quick. So what would stop Jerry Lemieux from being able to purchase and sell golf merchandise out of that pro shop under the Birdie's name, since he's already in the building?
Biggest challenge is fair and open competition. When you're going to let a contract, you've already picked who you're going to have in there. You're inviting a legal challenge. You will lose every time.
But is it need to be does it need to be a fresh and separate contract?
Right now, that's what you're trying to fill. The hole was created by the last contract expiring. So your option is to get another contract in place, or recommend that the city spend monies out that were not budgeted for in the current fiscal year to make that happen if you fiscal year.
Do we know what a contract would look like for a pro shop?
Yeah, we've been doing one.
Well, I mean, I don't know the particulars of it. Did he would just incur all costs and keep all profit and then pay a rent on the pro shop?
Based on the square footage, he paid a portion of utilities, I believe, and he took all the risk for the staffing of the shop. He took all the risk for the purchase of the merchandise. He set his own prices, got all the profits and the proceeds.
But if we ask the city to spend money out of the contingency, they would get all the profits and everything. Right?
Correct.
So why don't we ask that question first? Make a motion that the city take $50,000 out of the
That's the
It
easier route for sure.
And it doesn't need to be 50,000.
Yeah, and I think
That's
if
just a ballpark.
if denied by the city, then we can come back and recommend a contract.
Correct.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
if you
I like it.
contract, especially have a hard time 6 months. You know, he's got 2
Yeah,
years.
I was thinking that might just be cleanest and quickest to get it filled, but yeah,
So
Yeah.
I recommend.
Well, that's the thing, it won't be clean or quick.
right. Yeah.
So I see what you're saying.
Gentlemen also, ladies and gentlemen also, that fact that if you out for bid,
Yeah.
bid and asking that vendor to take the risk of stocking that facility.
So
Yeah.
my recommendation city for money, 50,000, and then let the city golf pro run it,
With city employees.
right, and with the profit, turn that into next year. And then the city will get.
I second that motion, and I'll just a little add on to that, is because I think having the business consolidated in one location and not buy golf equipment over here
No, me
and
too.
check in a tea time over here and have that be separate. I think that doesn't, I think that's doing a disservice to the
No, I
community.
think it should be just like
So,
TJ.
yep.
You know, when they walk in, they see Chris, they.
Yep.
Rent their cart, they pay a fee, and then,
Yep, I second.
We can't be afraid if the city's gonna tell us. They're
Right.
gonna tell us.
Still a lot.
And then we can go down the road of a contractor if that happens. Okay.
I think we also should remember.
Yeah.
Very.
Yes.
So,
so. but it's
I guess
true.
Right, Decker?
kind of wind back though. So we saved for 50 grand. Chris, you kind of chimed in and said it's probably not going to be that much.
City run.
So we
Well-
need to know kind of a.
We're not
Like-
stocking high-end items.
Correct.
We need to.
Right, I'm a custom fitter.
Right.
I have demo days. I have a tailor-made demo day. You're able to purchase that stuff. It's the same thing we do at Golf Galaxy. We are the Golf Galaxy of Mount.
Right.
All right. And we need balls, tees, gloves. This is a immediate item that needs to be fixed. Rental clubs. It creates slow play. Okay. People playing out of one bag. We got people coming there and for a tournament and they need clubs to play with. That's a no-brainer. That needs to be fixed. I need clubs for juniors that they can take to the range. You have a rental fee of $30 for 18 holes for the rental clubs. 4 sets of men's, one lefty, 3 right-handed.
Yeah, we understand what we need.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
that's,
And
you
and
know what we need.
and that's a source of revenue.
But what we
that goes-
need to figure out is how much money we need to ask city in
Because I-
order to provide that for you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that,
That's where I'm
That's
going
how
because
quick, you
the
know, right.
city's gonna want to know. Okay, well, 50 grand, and I can tell you just seeing some of the meetings already is that it's already 50 grand is a lot of money that they're not gonna want to fork over.
Yeah.
So could we get away with half of that for right now?
Okay?
Can we say 25 grand gets us started?
That's what
and
we
you
need to
go?
eventually have to rotate and roll over. Because TJ did 170,000 merchandise sales.
yeah, and I think too, like that might be just a little bit too in detail for this board, to be honest. Like, if we just say that I think is the best setup for the community, we recommend the best setup for the community be the city run pro shop, and Chris and council could figure out the number and what that looks like.
You write down what you need right away.
I've
I
already-
mean, like, I don't
I've
need to
already
worry
got
about that.
I've already got it
Yeah.
done.
Decker's
Yeah.
smiling.
You
over
already-
there.
Yeah, we're not guaranteeing that it's
Okay.
I've already established accounts with every rep.
Right, that, the
It's
level,
it's an accident waiting to happen.
So,
It needs to be done.
so you made the motion, okay? I seconded the motion, so we need to vote on it. So, Brenda,
yes.
Scott,
Aye.
May,
high.
Anthony, aye, Alex.
Aye.
So all we need to do, but we need to say how much we want.
No.
No,
No.
I think
Leave it
that's,
open-ended, saying that
Chris
the
knows, I
city
think I
council
trust,
needs to work with.
yeah, I
You're
trust
better off
Chris.
to leave it open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ask for a figure, they're always gonna go lower.
Yeah,
But-
and I trust
the
Chris to
only-
advise them on what's needed and what's absolutely needed, and he could
Okay.
probably give a good, better, best, and like, I just don't need to worry about it, to be
We're
honest.
mainly.
I would-
out.
I would make a recommendation for Chris though, is that I would come to have some number to like a startup fee, and don't go for the 50 grand. I would say make it to where it's just getting our foot in the door,
Yeah.
and say this is what we need: balls, tees, gloves, and the high important items that that is going to move and get rid of fast.
And that's where it's important to work with all the tournament groups.
Correct.
Shoes, I've seen lots of people come in and buy shoes right off
Oh,
the bat.
The rep was here Sunday meeting with me.
Yeah.
And then number 3, so new tea time reservation system software 4UP.
Go, Chris.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
I'd like Jeff to be involved in this because he had a proposal and it's really at no cost
Okay.
to the city. We have issues with our Golf Now system, and I installed 4UP City of Idaho did it. I was there when they did it. The Golf Now doesn't interface with their credit cards, but you're still going to be using Golf Now because Golf Now interfaces with 4UP. Right? So it will be a cashless property where you can book your tee time online on an app, and people are prepaid before they get here. And somebody shows us we've got their money. Another simple thing.
Now, are you able to,
Oh, it also runs tournaments and leagues for you.
what about people with passes, season passes,
yeah.
that kind of stuff?
We're going to have a database, right? A database that everybody plays golf at this golf course, right? There's emergency close. I push a button, sends out to everybody, every resident, every person that's played golf there knows, hey, we have a golf course closed today due to a water leak.
What if
I'm
I
breaking
don't-
stuff, Jeff.
What if I don't wanna get on the app? What if I just wanna come
You
in
can
and
still
play?
call.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for up, it's also an inventory system too, so you can plug in all your pro shop inventory. You can all kinds of, and then you can create line items. Like if you want to sell season passes to the golf course.
Oh,
which
yeah.
we should.
You,
Like,
you'll
you-
be able
you
to buy
create
your
the line
passes
item, yeah.
online.
Yeah.
Everything.
Anything beats what we've got now, so I would.
Jeff, you want to add anything?
You guys. Yeah. This part of the fun of being a liaison is all the questions you're asking are administrative. All the questions you're asking me are not in my bailiwick.
Just say pass, Decker.
That's the kind of question that go back to the staff.
So I just have a quick question about Jeff and Chris. Will moving to the 4UP software system increase the golfer community experience of the golf course?
Oh, no, yes. And not only that, it's going to increase rounds.
Okay. I move to recommend the 4UP software system.
Cost of that.
What's the cost?
I'm going to let Chris and the council worry about that.
I've already worked an agreement. Something that you're currently already doing. It's just a better operating system that will operate everything we need to do from an inventory control standpoint and tournament operation standpoint. It's a no-brainer. Now, I have a list of all the cities that have this.
Oh yeah, it's
Don't read them.
and it's
Get out of the dinosaur ages.
yeah.
Which is good,
Yeah.
you know, but there's still a lot of people that
No, I agree with
Don't
you. We are in
want
the dinosaur ages.
be on a
There's that.
computer.
We need,
Yeah,
we
you,
need to upgrade.
you can still call them, but good time.
That's how I
We're not turning anybody away.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, I wake up that morning and I go, we should go golfing.
I want a problem of a waiting list.
Online you can look.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
You can get up and say, yeah, I think 11:30, I'm gonna go golf. All other people. And you book.
And you just push your button and you got that time.
I second it.
We already
Scott
got
said.
that.
So Brenda, do you vote aye? How do you? Scott.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Anthony. Aye. Alex. Aye. Cool. Moving on to discussion item 4, setting a rental club fee. So my first thought is, do what you feel. Like I don't know. Like I don't have a recommendation. Right. Yeah.
City needs to recommend price so I can rent clubs. City needs to be able to rent golf.
Okay.
That needs-
My
that-
recommendation,
Exactly.
Sure, I understand what you're asking for. Make it clear right now that the city own.
Correct.
Setting a fee for something you don't have.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So
Just checking.
I would
Honestly,
We're knocking it out for whenever.
you
they
can
come.
take, we
I
can,
think this
we
needs
can
to be
table, we can table this item until we know that we actually get, like, the golf course is getting money for the pro shop, and then that can be discussed at a later time.
I would say like I don't even think that item belonged with us.
Anything that you think is not something this group should take action on, simply table it indefinitely.
Yeah, I moved to table that indefinitely. Setting rental club fee. And the reason for it is like I think that now that we have the pro shop and all that stuff handled, I think you know what that should be and you can recommend that to the council as a pro. Like, I trust you to I trust that you can handle it.
It's inexpensive compared to the place.
Cool.
That's what Mountain Home
Oh.
is also. We got the big, try to start to spice out and pretend
Mhm.
like we are Boise. We're not.
Formal vote on that too, Decker, to table indefinitely?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So move to table setting rental club fee indefinitely. Somebody second?
Second.
Okay. May or
Get
Brenda?
Brenda got it.
Scott? May?
Aye.
Anthony, aye.
Aye.
Discussion item 5, establishing future meeting date. I'm just gonna go with that. I think we have a lot to discuss. I move to do 2 weeks from today at 6 p.m.
Is that May 17th?
It'll be the next, 2 Mondays. We've established Monday was the best day for the council or for the board.
May 18th would be the date.
May 18th? I'm good for that day.
I'll be at the section PGA meeting in Idaho. So
They do 2 a month.
Or is that-
I thought it was,
One a month.
I thought it was
I think one a month was the minimum and you could meet as much as you needed to.
You can put that down as the date, and if there's an administrative issue with that, they'll.
Cool.
So next meeting, May 18th, 6 p.m.
Okay, time.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
I'll be at my PGA meeting in Idaho. Is at 6, my meeting is at 6 p.m. I don't need to be here. I'm not on the board. It's fine.
Good thing.
Vote. We have to vote on that. Yes.
You gotta
It's
vote on all of
listed
it.
as an action item, so yes.
Yes. Okay. So I move to set the next meeting date for Monday, May 18th, 6 p.m. Is there a second?
Second.
Brenda,
May.
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
May, Anthony, I, Alex.
Now,
Okay.
that being said, let's do a little more admin, open meeting law thing here. That means your agenda has to be posted
Right.
for the public to see. I would say not later than the Thursday before.
Okay.
So agenda items you want on your agenda, you need to make sure you've got those listed, submitted to Tiffany so that the agenda can be presented and properly posted in order to avoid a open meeting law violation. In case they won't do that, they'll simply cancel the meeting. Time won't cross that line.
Okay. So let's move to item 6 or discussion item 6, alignment with maintenance and golf pro.
One quick other point of order. Everything on your agenda from this forth on is a discussion, non-action item. It's a non-action item on the agenda. Even if you come up with a recommendation, you have to bring it back, you'd have to table it and bring it back in your next meeting as an action item, take a vote on it.
Okay.
Okay, let you know, kind of the process.
Okay. Yeah, and this, so I'll open up discussion for this. I would just, for me, we've just ran into talking with Jeff, and I would just like to see a mechanism or a space for the men's and women's associations to get with Jake, Pro, Jeff, just to align where we're at. So like we were creating our men's league schedules in a silo, not really knowing what was going on with maintenance, what was going on with the green airification schedule and tournament schedule. Yeah. So I would just like, so that's what I brought the non-action item for. Just a discussion on that, to see if anybody had any other thoughts regarding that.
I think we should be able to call
I'm here for you.
I'll give you my wife's number. No, anytime work hours.
For yourself.
Unless it's
80
a-
84 hours a week. Yeah, what does that look like? Do we like
I'll
as
give you my city cell.
so in the future as a as men's league, are we going? We're getting with the golf pro. We're getting with both of
I
you.
would think that that's kind of like, since you guys are, let's just hold a meeting. The ladies league and the men's league. Like, I don't see a problem with that.
Okay.
Like before the season starts.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like the ladies league. Are you guys on the? For the what do they call it?
Yeah, we're the
Yeah.
Women's Association.
President.
President?
I'm
And
the-
you're the men's, right? So we're already here.
Right. Yeah.
Technically. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think in the future, I'd like to see it podcast a little sooner, because I'm still running into guys going, what? That's starting already?
the men's
People
league.
don't know. Yeah. They don't know. They're clueless right
Yeah.
That is broadcasted on your new reservation system.
Yeah.
now. Good.
Creating the database.
Yeah, I'm up for if you guys want to meet, like do a. I don't want to have meetings, whatever to get before the season starts, before you get so you guys can plan. Maybe January, whatever whatever's best. I'm up for whatever you guys.
I think it'd draw a lot more. 'Cause there's a lot of guys that have over started.
Get it out in a few months.
This week,
This week.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Like the
I mean,
Women's
typically
Association.
I usually have this done in January. I tend to do it in December. I'm good on my.
So maybe we should go December. Then, based on when you have that out right in the public, so that way, okay. Super.
You have my phone. You guys want my phone? See all yeah, of course you can.
Oh, I got your cell.
You know,
I
I
got
need
it.
you over here. You know, I
Write
know
it
that's
on
what
the
you guys do when I drive by.
We'll write it on the bathroom
Oh,
walls.
those damn greens.
Yeah, by the way, when will the back be mowed properly?
Hopefully tomorrow when the mower's fixed.
Jake, what is your phone number?
That's being recorded.
Yeah,
Come on, Jake.
good catch.
Write it down.
We're down from 6 then?
Yeah, and I
We
think
just consider that tabled then?
yeah, I would say tabled indefinitely. Right? We don't have to vote on it. It's not an action item, right?
Yeah,
Ta-
you don't have to table it. It's just a discussion item.
Cool.
Everybody can agree to
Okay.
move on.
Moving on.
So 7. I think honestly, I would like to push this stuff. This would be more of a till our next meeting in 2 weeks. These last few items. I think it's just more about like operationally how we as a board would operate, and yeah. I think of this. I mean, getting in the. So for me, I just like to have a target. Like we have to purpose. Like even tonight we have to realign our purpose all the time. Like I see it as a succinct to recommend to the city to create or enhance the golfer experience at the golf course.
Right, I agree with that, but right now, we can't really do much until they create a golf pro position for 2026.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that has to be first and foremost. Looking at number 8, where it's a prioritization chart, that should be number 1.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, that comes with because how do you create priorities? You don't know what your goals are. How do you know you're reaching the goal if you don't have a metric to measure that? And then how do you know your goals are in service to purpose? So you kind of got to go. And I think that's a whole other meeting in itself rather than not a tail end of this one. That makes sense.
Start off.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah. So I would think that would be our,
'cause we could go another hour
I would think move 7, 8, 9 to action items
next week.
on our meeting in 2 weeks. Is that, what do you guys think?
Whatever you guys want.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone's got to get that to Tiffany. Someone to make the agenda, right?
That and that recording needs to be transcribed.
Yes, I will.
You are still recording, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and so, um, I think we move to item 7. Well, we'll formally set the agenda for next meeting.
7, 8, 9
Yeah.
are being moved.
I think part of the agenda for next meeting, I think we should lead off every meeting with a review of financials, just to gauge where we're at, where we're coming from. Maybe we don't have to do it this next 2 weeks because we're still in the month of May, but next month.
Next month.
Yeah, I'd say so. Okay. So next meeting, we'll skip over the financials. Will we have a city input issues section? I guess it always starts call meeting, intro.
May wish to consider moving that to the bottom of the agenda and calling it staff reports, like they do on the city council agenda.
Perfect. Yeah.
Or just
I think that are you talking about the city input issues?
no, it's just
Well, I think the two, I think there is merit in that. I mean, if there's something that maybe we have it on there and it maybe not be a mandatory thing and we let you know that we would like you at this one for questions or something. I don't
Oh
know.
no, I'll come to all of them. Just sure.
Okay.
But I just
Well, your input is helpful because we're all new at this right here.
Okay.
Alright, so,
I have just for me, I just have our discussion item, move it to action item 7, 8, and 9 for the meeting, for the agenda next week or next meeting.
I have down.
And then what would you call it, staff? And then after that, staff input and issues. Would anybody else like to add anything or discuss anything in our next meeting? It's kind of a high level, but I think once we delve into it, we'll start seeing some granular ideas and recommendations come out of that.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we've got to figure out what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Get him squared away first, because then everything else will fall, right? Right now. And out there.
Would Chris or Jake, would you like us to add anything to the agenda for next week?
I won't be here.
Can we solicit
18.
people's opinions in attendance?
Do we want to? The recommendation.
yeah, we don't want to open that up.
So, so for the recommendation on pulling the money, is there anything that we want to read over? Like, or when are we going to submit that?
Pulling money. What do you mean?
Like for the contingency for the pro shop? What is the next steps on that?
Oh, I think that our recommendation, we just have to, it's formally recognized, it's in the minutes.
Right.
And then I honestly, I don't feel like it's our place. Like,
To put a price tag on it?
No.
Right.
no,
Right.
I feel like Chris knows I trust Chris and his experience and he knows what's needed and,
Not gonna get your price tag anyway. I can
Right.
guarantee you that, so.
yeah.
There's
And
no point in even arguing one until we actually find out where they're at on possibility of opening that.
Yeah.
So just, you guys might know how to clarify. So then you guys are gonna recommend, right? To
the president is.
we did, right?
We still
No,
have.
you gotta
You
send
just passed it here. You
We
said
got
have
you.
to
Yeah,
move
that's
it.
it. Yeah, you have to write a letter, formal
For the city
recommendation.
council meeting.
All the recommendations that we had tonight.
Perfect. I got it. I'm on it.
So you volunteered.
I got it. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Take that with
My
May's.
motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Brenda says aye.
Got said.
Aye.
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 Couple lights, party's over.
Meeting adjourned.
The minutes. What was the minutes?
I don't browse it. for a long time either.
I don't
You or Scott that second.
do a lot of writing for my real job.
End.
Yeah, that's nice. I was just watching.
I guess what time is it? 7:36. So 6